Hey, my name is attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA, an Orlando, Orange County-based Social Security disability law firm. Let's go ahead and begin. So the next question I'm going to be answering is, where do I get medical treatment for disability benefits if I can't afford medical insurance? All right, so the unfortunate thing about life is that there's a couple of things you need to really live in America nowadays. It's obnoxiously expensive medical insurance, or government-based medical insurance, or some sort of doctor that lives in the family, vets included. You need basically access to medical treatment, because otherwise it's just, the medical insurance companies have just ruined it for everybody. In fact, they got so greedy that the government had to step in, which is why Obamacare even existed for the time that it did exist, because they just got so greedy with so many expansions in price. Look, you can't raise something $15 to $30 every single year. You can't. You can raise it $1, you can raise it $2, maybe $3, but you can't raise it $15 to $30 a year, which is how we got to this point, which is why medical health insurance is completely unavoidably, it's just way too, nobody can afford it. It's just stupid. Like, if you're having to pay out $300 a month, that's insanity. It's insanity. $300 a month for medical insurance is insanity. And I get it, medical pills that are coming out, they've got a new one that's going to cost over $2 million. For basically a year. And I get it. Like, some of these now they're finally starting to realize that we can release a medical cure for something so long as it has a mega price tag attached to it. Right? So like a $2 million medication to cure this person. How are they ever going to pay that back? Most people in their life don't even make $2 million. Anyways, so yeah, the cost of life is now becoming a circus, a big show. So let's go through this. Where do I get medical treatment for disability benefits if I can't afford medical insurance? It's simple. Free clinics are where it's at. They have doctors sometimes that'll travel to a clinic on Fridays. They have free clinics that basically will help you with certain things. Now, the most important thing for you to do is be able to answer the following. What is my most severe physical disability? What is my most severe mental disability? Of those two disabilities, which is worse? And then what are all of my impairments that limit my ability to do a vocational task or a job or whatever? If you can ask yourself those, then you can call the facility and find out what that facility offers. Some facilities are only mental. Some facilities are only physical. So what that means, you have to know what you're going to that place for ahead of time. Now, a lot of these places, if you have no medical insurance, they will treat one thing. That's it. One thing. You come in, one thing. That's it. Unless you're shot, then in that case, it's that one thing. It's your shot, but there's all these organs that'll be injured and yada, yada, yada. But the bottom line is they'll treat one thing. So set it up so that you can go to that place and different places for each thing. And then after 6 months, swap it up. Then you're going to switch and go to that other facility that you were going to for the one thing. Now you go to that facility for the second thing. Be smart about how you basically spread it out. So these medical clinics, how do you find these free medical places? Well, usually the county will have a free medical place for medical treatment. That's one. Usually there will be some sort of church or synagogue or whatever related religious group that's doing free medical treatment. The best way that I found for people to connect with people is that the food drives, where you get your free clothes, free bicycles, stuff like that, they'll tend to know where you can get in your area free medical treatment. Orlando, it's simple and straightforward. You've got the county medical, Orange Blossom Family Health medical, Good Shepherd's medical, or Shepherd's Hope medical. You've got these places around. There's even a new one being built in Bithlo, which I'm really excited about because Bithlo has needed it for a really long time. So you're going to go ahead and try and integrate, because if you need free medical, you're usually in the state of basically being an impoverished person, unless you're that lady that drives around in a Mercedes and basically just, milks the system, which, out of every 15 people, there's one of those. Okay, so now you understand that's what you're looking for. Clinics. Now, what's the problem with clinics? Clinics do not provide usually pretty good tests. So we're talking about higher end medical imaging. They might have an x-ray machine, but they're surely not going to have an MRI unless it's donated by some rich person. So what does that mean? Okay, so the good thing is this. Most of these facilities are potentially going to be upgrading to better imaging machines, because better imaging machines are very common now, and it's all digital, which means they don't have to spend a lot on kind of the x-ray paper and stuff like that you would go ahead and use, the film that you would go ahead and use to render an image. Now it's mostly digital, right? So it goes into computers. We're not having to buy all these additional things that you use and then you chuck-a-roo as you convert it to digital. But with that said, And I don't know why the government doesn't do this, and I don't know why it doesn't get spent on this, because when people make a lot of big donations to medical facilities that are little medical clinics, it all just seems to go to the upper staff. Point is, MRI machines are becoming cheaper and cheaper. X-ray machines, CAT scans, stress test machines, they're all becoming cheaper. So in the future, it doesn't help you now, but 5 years from now it might, your local clinic might actually have some sort of imaging machine, which is the best objective evidence that we have currently when it comes to medical stuff. So what's the problem with these places? They will set you up with an appointment, and then basically 3 to 6 months later, you'll go ahead and let me just see what this says. So what they'll do is they'll go ahead and set you up, and what will happen is you'll basically go there, you'll you'll be seen for the first time, and then 3 to 6 months later you'll be set up for a follow-up appointment. And the first appointment you had is really just a hi, who are you, fill out this form appointment, which is not a good appointment because you didn't get anywhere with it. They might prescribe you some medication, but they don't really know what's going on with you. Now, there's a double-edged sword to this. They'll write down in their diagnostic impression that you likely have something. And if you can obtain that diagnostic impression and take it to the next medical facility, like, an emergency room, they're probably going to get lazy as doctors and go ahead and copy and paste that, diagnostic impression. So now you've got 2 facilities that are saying you have this when you might not even have it, right? Because there wasn't an objective test that could actually figure out what it was. But still, you can always fix that later by just going and finally getting some sort of imaging or enough doctors on board to say you have it, and then you have it. Okay. So where do I get medical treatment for disability benefits and I can't afford medical insurance? That's the thing that we just touched on, which is not just the clinics, but also the emergency room. The emergency room, you'll be in, you'll be out. You'll be in, you'll be out. You'll be in, you'll be out. After all those visits, they basically don't want to see you anymore. That's fine. That's when you have to travel to another emergency room. Spread it out so that basically you get more time. So go to one month, 2 months later, go to another one, 2 months later, go to another one. Spread it out. Okay. Transportation. How do you get from point A to point B? You're going to have to use the bus system and stop spending your money on crack and meth and coke and heroin. And you're going to have to utilize that, okay? Now, if you're with a disability attorney to work with you, they'll get things set up. But if you're not, stop spending your money on crack, right? The guy with the dreads that shows up does not have a solution for you. He just offers you a solution that is basically you're going to die early, you're going to age faster, you'll probably get murdered at some point because they'll put crap in it. And then all of a sudden, while you're sitting there making the argument that, potheads, nobody's ever really murdered anybody with pot. Yeah, well, let me tell you something. There's been a hell of a lot of murders for crack. And when I hear the crack argument that you're not going to murder somebody or somebody's going to get murdered over it, then you're an idiot. So the bottom line, I'm going to try and be nicer, but the bottom line is learn your bus station system. If you don't understand it, sit down with a caseworker at one of these places and have them go through how the buses connect and what it means. Yes, if you have to go to a hospital, yes, it might take you 2 hours to get, literally 500 yards. Whatever, it is what it is. That's the system that exists. If America understood that it needs hyperloops and it needs public transportation, and we could reduce the amount of automobiles on the road, even though we shouldn't have to because it's our right to be able to drive if we want to, which it's not really anymore because you have to obtain a license. Bottom line is we need more public transportation. And we need more roads. If we have more roads that interconnect things and make it easier for a person A to get, from A to B, that's great, because then more of these bus companies that charge $1, which is not really $1, but they charge $1 and then it's more on top of that. But these bus companies that charge that will be able to get people to more places, and then more medical facilities will be available, and it'll be really great. And then, of course, you have the local city buses and stuff like that that you can go ahead and utilize. So that's kind of the point with all this stuff. Although I will point out one thing, and I just want to point out one thing because I grew up on a farm. Have you ever noticed that people who do not live in the city, right, somehow always have a job and a car and a this or that, or if they don't, people take care of them? But when people are in the city, some people take care of them, yeah, but it's not the same. It's like that person just can't take a cab, can't take a bus, can't use a bicycle. And I understand some of you have really bad arthropathy and terrible back issues, neurological balance issues, many issues, whatever. I get it. But have you ever noticed that the people who grow up in the city are just more incapable of doing things, whereas farm folk are, man, that's, if you needed to cut down a tree, if you needed to, fix a tractor, if you needed to fix a truck or a car, if you needed to build a house, it's like they didn't have modern day academia just destroying their mental capacity on how to do simple things. And I don't know what's wrong with the world and why it turned out that way in America, but it seems like modern day academia has no idea how to actually complete basic blue collar related activities unless you go to school specifically for that, which is great. And we've just created these theoretical doctrinal monsters that can't do anything. I don't know what happened with that. I mean, a lot of these people don't even know how to write a check, or, for example, how to mail a letter. That's something. Where's the stamp go? We had an intern that didn't know where the stamp went on a letter. So I had to literally create it. Anyways, I grew up on a farm. It's different. So my point is, sorry, I have to return to the question. I'm a little tired today. Where do I get medical treatment for disability benefits if I can't afford medical insurance? Anywhere you can. Anywhere you can. If you know a buddy that, the brother or sister's a doctor, anywhere you can. I want to make it really apparent to you that I understand that you struggle, and this is a loophole that is not being taken care of properly because, a lot of people just don't have a means or whatever. Do the judges understand? Yeah, they understand, some of them. Are some of them total, insert expletive? Yeah, one of them in particular at the Orlando hearing office, no matter what, she always wants objective evidence. She wants to see those images herself because guess what? She's going to play doctor. Is what it is. That's what she wants. She's a judge. She gets to do it. Shouldn't you complain about the judge? Yeah. Shouldn't it go up? Yeah, sure did. My point to you is some of the judges understand. They'll be like, okay, cool, I'm just going to send this person to a medical CE and request, this. But remember, the SSA judges, they're like, look, they'll pay for the, the system will pay for this, the system will pay for that. It might pay for MRIs. It might pay for, I have to leave soon. It might pay for MRIs, but it might not pay for MRIs. So you have to consider all these things as part of the system and then kind of go from there because, you're probably going to get an x-ray out of a judge, but you're probably not going to be able to get something higher than that. All right, so that's where do you go to get medical treatment? That's what you need to know, okay? There are clinics. You just need to be able to get into the environment, the culture, the community, and find out exactly where they are. And also some of the local doctors might expend some time to go ahead and donate time to assist you, all right? Especially if you work out ahead of time, that, hey, local doctor, you can put up your advertisement in that store so long as I can get medical treatment because I know the store owner and he's cool with it, bartering in that sort of form. But a lot of these are if you don't have an attorney and yada, yada, yada. All right. My name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA, an Orlando, Orange County-based Social Security disability law firm. If you want the most up-to-date information, a free consultation, and a custom video made about a particular topic you like, that's fine. Shoot me an email, give me a call, and we'll go from there. All right. In fact, 3 of the videos I've recorded today thus far have all been recommendations from people. They haven't been ones that I wanted to make. So there you go. Hope all's well. I'll catch you later, and thanks so much. Bye-bye.